Hi there, everybody, and welcome to the first of the life skills sessions here on Unacademy Creative Corner. I'm very happy to be here today with all of you. Welcome to this session. Life skills are those things that are required by all of us every single day of our lives, and these are things that are not taught in schools, in colleges, but these are things which help you to survive difficult times, to be the best that you can, and to absolutely thrive in whatever it is that you are wanting to do in your life. So we have a series of life skills programs here on Unacademy at different times this month. Be sure to catch all of them. We're going to talk about things like communication skills, things like public speaking skills, building your confidence, setting your goals, achieving your goals. But first off, for today's first live session on the life skills program, I want to talk mainly about time management. So I'm welcoming everybody who's here. The chat box is open, so do keep interacting, do keep chatting, sending me your comments, sending me your questions on the chat box, and I'll keep pausing and I'll keep having a look at the questions that you're sending as we move forward with this program on the essential time management techniques that all of us need, whether we are children, whether we are adults, whether we are teachers, whether we are students. Whatever it is, we all need these essential time management techniques. So here we go, getting started, and let me know if there are any questions or comments at any point of time. I would love to see all of you talking to me right here, right now. So here we have about 60 minutes with us. Let's get cracking because today's topic is time management. Hey there, Nandini, good to see you. Keep them coming. Everybody who's here, say hello to me. Let me know that you're here. Tell me where you're joining in from, and also ask me any kind of questions that you want to on the problems that you face with your time management and what you would like to do to solve those. But first off, here's my question for you. Very first question today for you here. All of us would always like more money, right? I'm giving you some extra money today, all right? If you had 86,400 rupees with you today, what would you do? If you had 86,400 rupees to spend today, what would you do? Let me know in the chat box. Please let me know in the chat box what you would do. If you had 86,400 rupees to spend today, you have to spend all of it today, by the way. Yes, 86,400, very specific figure and also a very large figure. Let me know. And as you're thinking about it, I want to make us, you also need to think about why am I asking about 86,400? Why such a specific figure? Think about that and tell me what you want to do. And I'm already getting the answers coming in. That's good. You want to save some of it. By the way, you can, save half the money. You can decide what you want to do with it. You can split it up. It can be all 86,400 on something, or it can be half here, half there, 15% here, 50% there, somewhere else. You can split it up as well, right? So Kirtana wants to save the money. What about the rest of you? What do you want to do? Kirtana, you want to save half the money. What will you do with the rest of the money? Think about it and let me know in the chat box. Good to see the comments already starting to come in. Please keep them coming. Some of us will want to save all the money for the future. Some of us will want to blow the money, maybe buy that iPhone that we've been angling for, or maybe buy 3 or 4 pairs of sneakers, some dresses, and maybe spend some money on eating out. We could be doing all kinds of things. Think about that. Think about what you want to do. Could be lots of different kinds of things. Now, whenever we get a lot of money, or we think about earning money as we grow up, or we are already adults and we are thinking about earning money, we always worried about how do I spend this money? If I get 3,000 rupees pocket money in a month, or 5,000 rupees pocket money, or it's a festival time and the relatives come and they give me 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees, I'm thinking about how to spend that money. But now you have to think about something a little bit different. And the second question I asked you was, why did I ask you such a specific figure, 86,400? If there are no guesses, I'm going to give you the answer right now. 86,400 is the number of seconds that we have in a day. 86,400 is the number of seconds that we have in a day. Yeah. When we have money, we always are so worried about how we're going to spend it. Am I going to invest it like Saksham says? Or am I going to save it? Am I going to spend it? We think about it. But every morning we wake up and nature gives us 86,400 seconds to spend, 24 hours and 86,400 seconds to spend. But most of us don't really think about how am I going to spend my time. We just wake up and we fall into our daily routine. We don't really think about how am I going to spend my time today. Time is as valuable, if not more valuable than money. The amount of effort thinking that we put into thinking about how to invest our money, let's put in that amount of effort and thinking about how to spend our time. So this is our session on the time management techniques that you're going to learn about how to spend your time in the best way possible so that you are able to achieve all your goals. That's what we are going to be covering today. So here we are. Welcome everybody, whoever is joining in right now. Welcome to the session. Most people do not think about how to use their time. They just do it unthinkingly. But I'm going to teach you some very specific techniques, very simple things that you can apply right away to make best use of your time and achieve whatever it is that you want in life. My name is Shraboni Mazumder. Some of you are familiar with me because I am an educator on Unacademy and I do classes on public speaking, on communication skills, and on personal excellence, how to become the best that you possibly can. I'm also a coach and a consultant for adults, for corporates, as well as individuals. And I, again, help individuals achieve their potential by being the best that they can through lots and lots of different kinds of coaching and programs that I do. I have about 25 years of experience, and whatever technique that I teach you today in time management, I guarantee you they actually work because I use them myself. Yes, I never teach anything that I've never used myself, okay? So I'm giving you time-tested practical tips and techniques that you will enjoy learning about and enjoy applying as well. And I really love questions and comments, so keep them coming in the chat box. I have it right here open with me, and I would love to see that. Okay. The session is, Nandini, going to be in English, though I'm not very comfortable in Hindi, so I hope you can follow along. अगर आपको किसी चीज में थोड़ा सा भी डिफिकल्टी हो रहा है तो आप मुझसे पूछ लें, and I will try to explain in Hindi, but I can't promise, Nandini, because I'm a Bengali. I never really learned Hindi. Whatever Hindi I learned was from watching Hindi serials and Hindi movies, so it's not very good, okay? I'm much better in English. I hope you can follow along, but just ask me any questions wherever you're getting confused and wherever you have any doubts, and I'll try my best to clarify it. All right, let's get started. What are you going to learn today? Well, 4 specific things. I'm going to teach you a very simple to understand, little bit difficult to apply grid system, 4 quadrants to change the way that you look at your time management. I'm going to also show you why you should say no more. Say no more, right? Why you should start saying no more often, who you should say it to, what kind of things you should say no to. I'm going to talk to you about saying no because that's really important in terms of time management. I'm going to teach you 2 very easy hacks, 2 really easy productivity hacks that you can use right away to improve your productivity. And then I'm going to teach you at the end of it, the thief of time. Oh yes, and I'm going to introduce my friend the monkey at that point of time. So stick around because you're going to meet the monkey and you're going to learn a whole lot of other things as well. So here we go with the first learning of the day. Great, thank you so much, Kirtana. I love having you here as well, and keep those positive comments coming. Here's a little poll for all of you, and you can just type in the number of the option A, B, C, or D. What is your biggest time management problem? What is your biggest time management problem? 1, you never seem to have enough time. B, you find it difficult to cope with all the different demands. C, you seem to be constantly busy, but you feel you don't achieve anything. Or D, I don't really think about actively managing my time. Which one of this is true for you? Let me know in the chat box. A, B, C, or D. Hey there, Yash. Good evening and welcome to this session. And good evening to everybody else who's joining in as well. Keep coming to the sessions because there's lots and lots of in store for you. And Yash has already answered. Let me have a look at everybody else's as well. So, I never seem to have enough time. Could be a problem, absolutely. Saksham says, well, I'm so busy. From morning to night, I'm busy. And at the end of the day, I collapse into bed. So tired and so sleepy. But I don't know where my time went. I never seem to achieve anything that's important to me. Okay? Kirtana, productivity means how good are you at using your time? How much do you achieve in the time that you spend? So if I spend 1 hour doing something, how much did I get done? And if another person spends the same 1 hour doing the same thing, did they get done more or did they get less done than me? That is what productivity means. How much you get done in a certain amount of time. Okay, so we're talking about increasing your productivity. All of us have the same amount of time. How can we become better at doing more with our time? That's what we are focusing on. Okay, let's have a look. Any other responses to the poll? Let me know. Kirtana says A also. Just like Yash, I never seem to have enough time. So all of these four, by the way, are very common time management problems, right? Now, when we talk about time management, the mistake is that most of us think about time management as managing time. But can you really manage time? Now you're wondering, why am I asking whether you can really manage time? I thought the whole session was about managing time. Well, the answer is you can't really manage time. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. And once time goes by, once the time is gone, you can't really bring it back. So you can't manage time. You can't make it go faster. You can't make it go slower. You have no control on the time. The sun will rise at a certain time every day. The hours will tick past. You have no control on the time. But what you do have control over is your activities, the way you spend your time and the way you spend your attention. That's what we are going to talk about, right? So we all have the same 24 hours, like Yash says here, and Kirtana says it's not just A but also C, right? That's what we're going to talk about. Now here's a little exercise for you just now. I hope you all have a pen and a paper handy with you, a notebook, pencil, whatever it is. If you have something handy with you, have a look. Please take a few minutes and make a to-do list right now. What are all the things that you have to do today and tomorrow? Because today is already about 5 o'clock, not much of today left. Think about the rest of today as well as tomorrow. Make a quick list. All the things that I have to do today and tomorrow. And you can put it in the chat box if you like, okay? I'll give you a couple of minutes. Make a to-do list. Saksham, that's very good. Waking up at 5 is a very, very good habit. Excellent habit. That's very, very good. I've asked all of you to make a to-do list right now. What you have to do today, what you have to do tomorrow. Just write it down in the chat box, please. Take a couple of minutes and let me know. And you can put as many items as you like. 5 items, 7 items, 10 items. What are all the things that you have to get done between today and tomorrow? And if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the chat box, just make it for yourself, okay? Take 2 minutes, make it for yourself. And typically, I put up an example as well on the screen. This is a typical to-do list. I have this class, then I have that class, then I have to finish some project, then I have to work on some homework, then I have to meet with a particular professor, then I have to work out, I have to go for a run, I have to help my mom in the kitchen, I have to clean my room. So many things that we need to do. Yes, in the to-do list, so many different things that we need to do in the to-do list. But there are 2 reasons why to-do lists don't work very well, and I'm going to tell you that. I know you're all writing about your to-do list now. You're putting it down, and all of us do this, right? We get up in the morning and we make a list of all the things that we have to do that day. But to-do lists don't work. I'm telling you this. I know everybody believes in to-do lists, but here's something surprising. To-do lists don't actually work. Okay? Why am I saying that? One, because whatever you're putting in the chat box, you're saying, I have to read at 9 o'clock, or I have a lecture at, I have to sleep at this time, or I have to study at this point of time. That's what we put in our to-do list. But these are all appointments with ourselves. I am making a commitment to myself that I will read at this time, I will work out at this time, I will sleep at this time. It's very easy to break an appointment with myself, isn't it? If I say that I'm going to sleep at 10 o'clock, or if I say I'm going to study at 6 o'clock, and I don't do it because I'm distracted, I'm doing something else right then, well, nobody can stop me. Very, very easy to break an appointment with myself. That's one reason why a to-do list doesn't work. So use a to-do list for things which are with other people. So if there is a class that you have to attend, which is already scheduled and it's with a particular teacher, that to-do list will work because it's an appointment with somebody else that you cannot break. But any other way of just putting down your activities, putting a timeline, may not really work, because you know for a fact that even though you make list after list, what usually happens is most of the things on our list don't get done because it's very easy to break an appointment with myself. The second reason why to-do lists don't work, and why we tend to feel that even though the whole day we've been working, like you said, but I've not got anything done, is that our to-do list is not prioritized. Prioritized means, though I've made a list of 10 things to do today, I haven't really decided or marked out which ones are more important and which ones are less important to do, right? And that's very, very important. So I'm going to show you a technique of figuring out the prioritization of items, looking at all the activities that you have to do, but just seeing it in a very different way. And yes, you're absolutely right. Time blocking is a wonderful idea. And I'm going to talk about time blocking in just a little while when I talk about productivity hacks. I'll come to that. And thank you for bringing that up, Yash. But I'm moving back to a to-do list and a different way of doing a to-do list. Now look at this, okay? This is called the urgent important matrix, or the time management grid. Grid just means check box, right? 4 boxes, right? So have a look at this grid as it comes up on your screen. And you will see that there are 4 boxes in this grid. And these 4 boxes are categorized in a particular way. Some activities are considered urgent and some activities are considered important. Can you tell me, what does urgent mean? What does urgent mean? When I say activities are urgent, what does it actually mean? Think about it and put that down, please. What does an urgent activity mean? And as you're thinking, also start thinking about what does important mean, because they are not the same thing. And I'm showing you a quadrant which has urgent and important both. Have a look at that, please, and tell me, what does urgent mean? Don't worry so much about the grid right now. I'm going to explain it. But urgent means something very specific. And Saksham, it doesn't really mean priority. That's what I'm getting at. It doesn't really mean priority. Thank you for your answer though. But priority is a little bit different and urgency is a little bit different. Urgent simply means something which is time sensitive. It doesn't mean it's important. It just means it has to be done at a particular time. So for example, if you're feeling thirsty, or if you're feeling hungry, if you're feeling sleepy, that's quite urgent because you have to do it. You have to eat. You have to drink water right then because you're feeling very thirsty or hungry, right? If your class is going to start at 12 o'clock and it's 11:55, the class is really, really urgent because it's going to start very soon. So it means something that is time sensitive. That's going to start very, very soon. That's what urgent means. Priority or importance means something a little bit different. Important or priority items are those things which are going to contribute to my goals for today, right? So let me give you an example. If you have a biology project to submit and you have to make a diorama or a presentation on, the flora and fauna of the Amazon, all the living creatures in the Amazon rainforest, right? This is your project in biology or in social sciences or geography, whichever subject that's part of, and you have to do it today because, tomorrow is the deadline. Well, this kind of a thing is quite important because the project contributes to 50% of your marks in your session, in your examination. 50% of your marks comes from that project. So it's quite important to do. If the project is due tomorrow, it's also very, very urgent. But if the project is due 2 weeks from now, it's still important because it contributes 50% of your marks, but it is not yet urgent. So I hope you're getting the difference between time sensitive, which is urgent, and important, which are things which contribute to your goals. So for example, If one of your goals is to sit for the joint entrance examination and pass it and get to the IITs, then going for your joint coaching, the joint entrance coaching, is very, very important. And it's going to continue to be important because this is something that you're doing to get to your goal of joining the IIT. But today you don't have a class today, so it's not urgent. But your coaching class for the joint entrance is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. At 5:30 it becomes urgent as well because it's time sensitive. So this is a difference between time sensitive as well as important. I hope you are all getting the answer here. And Saksham says, gotcha. And thank you so much, Saksham. I love that. Let me know that you understood the difference between urgent and important. They are not the same thing. Important, anything that contributes to your goal. Urgent, anything that is time sensitive, has to be done right now. And Kirtana has given an example as well. So she says, taking live classes in Unacademy or in YouTube is very important for me. That's super, Kirtana. And when it's about 10 minutes before the live class, or you have a live class today, it also becomes urgent, right? And Kirtan also asks, I have a project of geography and in that time I have Unacademy class. Which one will you do first? Well, you will do the one that's more urgent first. So if your geography project is due tomorrow or day after, you have a little bit of time still, but your class is starting now, your Unacademy class, well, you need to finish that off first if both are important, right? Both are important to you. So now let's go back into this grid and explain this a little bit more to you. Look at quadrant number 1. Quadrant means box number 1, right? And box number 1 has all those kinds of things which are urgent as well as important. Urgent as well as important. Just like you are asking me, Kirtana, both the geography project as well as the Unacademy class, they are urgent as well as important. They have to be completed in a certain amount of time and they are both important for you because you enjoy them both and they contribute to your goals, right? They're urgent and important both. Any kind of task, which is time sensitive as well as contributing to your goal is urgent and important both. Anything but every single task is not like that, okay? Let me give you a few more examples of urgent and important and then I'll move on to the other boxes, okay? Let's have a think about something else. If suddenly you start feeling unwell in the middle of the day, you start breathing very heavily, your heart is racing, you're feeling really unwell, you feel like puking, you feel like vomiting, you have to take care of your health, you have to go to the doctor right then, you have to tell your parents right then. Taking care of your health, urgent because it's happening right then. It's also important because it's going to affect you otherwise, okay? That's urgent and important. That's box number 1. Look at box number 4 now. Box number 4, these are things which are neither urgent nor important, okay? So these are things which are neither urgent nor important. Can you think about it? And I've given you some examples in the slide as well. Think about it. They're not important. They're not urgent. You don't have to do them. They don't contribute to your goals in any which way, and they're also not time sensitive. What kind of things would those be? What kind of things would those be? Think about it. And Kirtana, I hope I answered your question. So box number 4 is a very interesting box because box number 4 is telling you things which are neither urgent nor important, and these are things like time-wasting activities, watching YouTube or watching Netflix binge over and over again, just spending 4 or 5 hours watching Netflix at a time, doing Facebook, scrolling through Facebook maybe. This is again something which is not urgent. You don't need to do it and it's not important because it wastes your time. Box number 3 are those things which other people tell you are very, very urgent, right? But it's not urgent or important for you. And Yash has given a very good example, watching movies. Now, Yash, watching movies could either be quadrant number 4 or it could be quadrant number 2, and I'll come to that. But I'm just finishing up with quadrant number 3. Quadrant number 3 is, let's say when you're studying and your friend messages you and says, hey dude, you want to hang out? I just want to, let's go, just go out, let's walk around the block for a while, let's walk around the school building, and I feel like talking, I feel like playing basketball. Do you want to come down and play basketball? And for your friend, it's very urgent that he wants to play basketball, but you're studying. For you, it's not urgent or important, and those kind of things will be quadrant number 3 or box number 3, right? That will be those kind of things. Other people, when other people want you to do things which is not important for you, that's box number 3. And I'm getting lots of great examples for box number 4. Wonderful, guys. Instagram, gossiping, and then, watching mindless TV. Chatting with friends, Kirtana, just hold on. I'll tell you where it is. After I explain box number 2, you might change your mind, okay? But I hope you've understood box number 1, box number 4, and box number 3. Remember, box number 3, those things which are important for other people, but not for you, right? Daydreaming, Yash says, is also box number 4. Let's see, could also be box number 2, maybe, yeah? Kirtana, chatting with friends, could be box number 2. Let me explain box number 2 because that's the last one and I haven't explained it yet. Box number 2 are those things which are not urgent. They have no time sensitivity, but they're actually very important. Okay? So now think about all those things which contribute to your goals, but they are not really very urgent for you to do. For example, if you want to become a doctor, and I know you have to sit for the exams, you have to study a lot, you have to do all of those kind of things. But one of your friends, one of your dad's friends or a mom's friends is a doctor. And it's also quite important for you to have a chat with her and understand from her what does being a doctor mean, what are all the different specializations in medical science, how does she enjoy being a doctor, what are the challenges of being a doctor. That would be really interesting for you to know, isn't it? It'll help you make a decision, so it's important for you. But there is no deadline. There's no deadline. There is nothing which says you have to talk to your dad's friend today at 7 o'clock, otherwise the opportunity is lost. There is no deadline at all, right? So in quadrant number 2 or box number 2 are those kind of things which are very important, but there is no deadline. So for example, another example is that, you want to, along with your studies, you also want to be a good artist and you love painting. But what happens is because you have so many schools, you have classes, you have all of those kind of things, what happens is you tend to do more of your studies, but you don't tend to do enough practice on the painting. It's important to you, but there is no deadline. Nobody's put a timeline to it. Nobody said you need to do so many classes of painting or so many paintings, create so many drawings or paintings, and so you don't actually get to do it. So quadrant number 2, box number 2, activities which are super important, but there is no timeline. Another example is going to the gym, going for a run, going for a jog. It's very important for our health. We all know it. Very, very important for our health. But nobody's put a deadline to it, right? Nobody's put a deadline to it. And hence what happens is these are things which are important, but they are not urgent. Lovely, Saksham. Very good. It's like another example, reading a book, reading a really good book, which is not a study book, which is not your course book, but a book about something that's enlightening, maybe a book about general knowledge or a book about Indian history, which is not part of your syllabus. You want to read it as part of your general knowledge. You want to build yourself, self-development. For example, attending a class on time management. It's not part of your school syllabus. It's not urgent, but it's important for you because this is something which is a life skill and you want to learn it, right? So this is very, very important. So understanding these quadrants is your first step. What do we then start to do with this understanding is what I'm going to move on to. And let me have a look. Remember I said watching a movie. Yash gave that example. Watching a movie could be quadrant number 4, time waster. But I'm saying, Yash, watching a movie could also be a quadrant 2 activity. It's very important because I need to relax. I'm a student. I study a lot. I do all kinds of things. Sometimes I need to relax. So maybe watching a movie with my family is my way of relaxing and connecting to my family. At that point of time, it's not a time waster. It's actually an important activity. And similarly, Kirtana, chatting with my friends could actually be not a time waster, but once in a while, I need to take a break from my studies and catch up with my friends, know what's happening with them, catch up on homework also with them. And then it becomes box 2, quadrant 2, which is important, but not super urgent. Okay. This is the explanation of the quadrants. I think from your responses that you've understood what it is, but you are most welcome to ask me any questions at this point on this box. But I'm going to teach you now what to do with this and some few hacks, like I said, and also Yash was giving me some examples there. Some few hacks to make sure that you are able to be more productive. Okay. So Saksham says knowledgeable stuff. Yes, knowledgeable stuff will be in box number 2. And should we assign a time or only number the activities? Well, I'm going to teach you now, just now, how to actually, what to do with this. Should we assign a time, or what do you do with these? Yeah. So that's exactly what we're going to do. But overall, with the activities in box number 1, you have to just do them because they're urgent as well as important. With the activities in box number 4, you shouldn't do them because they're time wasters. Activities in box number 3, you need to start learning how to say no politely or doing it later. And activities in box number 2, you need to put a deadline, otherwise they'll never get done. And this is exactly what we're going to talk about in detail just now. I want to show you a very nice video which talks about these concepts, and then we'll come back and discuss the video and we'll see what you learned from it. So here goes. And I know there's a little bit of a lag, so just waiting for the video to come onto your screens as well just now, and have a look and enjoy.
Good afternoon, everyone. We all have this one life to live. A fleeting shadow amongst all that exists in this vast universe. We have the ability to accomplish anything, truly anything, if we use our time wisely. Is this jar full? Yes. Is it full now? Yes. And how about now? Is the jar full now? Yes. Yes. Yeah, it is. Now I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. Golf balls are the important things, your family, your friends, your health, and your passions. The pebbles are the other important things, your car, your job, your home. The sand is everything else, it's just the small stuff. Now if you put the sand in the jar first, you won't have room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same is true in life. You spend all your energy and your time on the small stuff. You won't have time for all the really important things that matter to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Take care of the golf balls first, the really important things. Set your priorities, because everything else is just sand. Yes?
Professor, what does the beer represent?
I'm glad you asked. It goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem to be, there's always room for a couple of beers with a friend.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed that video and you learned something from it. It's an amazing video, isn't it? Saksham says, awesome. And Yash also says, I've learned something from it. What did you learn from it? What is the lesson that you understood, Saksham and everybody else, from this video? Very, very powerful message that's coming up there. What do the big rocks stand for? What does the sand stand for? What does it all stand for? What did you understand from that video? You couldn't hear the sound. I'm so sorry, Kirtana. I will send you the link of the video later on and have a look at it. It's available on YouTube. Have a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Yash, that is absolutely right, Yash. Yash is saying the video is about assignment of time according to the tasks. That's one lesson which is there in the video. And the video basically says that we have so many different things to do in life. We have some big rocks, we have some small pebbles, and we have some sand. And the big rocks stand for all the important things in our life. And the important things in our life are things like our family, our studies, making sure we enter the right kind of colleges, making sure we have the right kind of career, the right kind of health that we need. All of these are the big things in life that we are able to achieve our dreams. Anything that helps us achieve our dreams are the big things in life. Just like Yash says, the big rocks mean the important goals in life. That's right. The smaller pebbles mean the slightly smaller goals in life, right? Enjoying ourselves with our friends, going for movies, learning new, reading new books, all the slightly smaller things in life, eating good food. All of these are also important, slightly less important. And then the sand is the completely unimportant things in life. And this is things like chatting mindlessly on WhatsApp or on Insta, spending hours on Insta, playing a game for 3 hours, 4 hours. We start playing a video game, we can't stop. And we just keep playing the game, and it just goes on, leveling up, leveling up, leveling up. We keep playing the game, or we do a Netflix binge. And we just waste a lot of time in that. And those are, or gossiping, idle gossip, idle chatter, all of these are the sand. If we start our day, if we fill up our day with a lot of sand, which is all the time wasters, we are not going to have time for the big rocks for our life. And that's the main lesson. So when you're thinking about the 4 box here, and you're thinking about your time, and you're thinking about your day, as you're planning your day, and as you're planning your week, your month, your year maybe, well, not so much the year, that's too long, but when you're planning your day and your week, first think about what are the big things that I want to get done this week? What are the projects I need to get done? What are is there something that I need to do for my sister's birthday that's really important for me? Some big things that you want to get done that week or that month. Do that planning, or that day, for example. Once you've done that, then think about, okay, what are the slightly smaller things that I need to get done? Maybe I need to catch up with this particular friend. Maybe I want to read this novel. Think about the slightly less important things that you want to get done in that day or the week or the month. And once you've made time for the big rocks and the slightly smaller pebbles, then whatever time that you have left, you can use that as you want, any kind of recreational activities that we want, right? This is what the big lesson is from this jar activity. That's right, Kirtana. The full jar is like your whole life, or your whole day, or your whole week, or your whole month, right? Don't fill it up with sand, because if you fill it up with sand, there's not going to be space for the rocks. So this is a prioritization technique. Think about the big rocks in your week, and then put that down. First, make time for it. So right now in the chat box, and you all write in a typical week, what are some of the big goals that you need to finish in that week? Think about this week and the next week. What are the big things that you really want to get done this week and the next week? Write that into the chat box. Hey there, Vaibhav. Good to see you back. I'm very well, thank you. Welcome to this session on time management. We're doing an exercise on identifying what are the big goals that we have in a week. And please write in, everyone, what are the big goals that you have? And I would love to see that. And Saksham, you're absolutely right. It means that we prioritize our tasks. We should not waste time on small things. And if we are not going to waste time on small things, what we really need to learn is how to start saying no, okay? So a related question for you is here. What are the things you should start saying no to? What are the things you should start saying no to? What are the things you should start saying yes to? Say yes to anything that helps you get towards your goals, get towards your life, get towards your vision, your dreams, anything that's important to you. Say no to anything that's a time waster, okay? Say no to unreasonable requests from friends. Say no to these Netflix binges. Say no to distractions. Insta, too much of anything is not good for you. Start to say no. This is very, very important for you. Look at all the activities that you have lined up. Which ones will you say yes to? Which ones will you say no to? And Yash says, completing my college assignments is the big rock. Very good, Yash. You make sure in your timetable you put time for taking care of those college assignments. Only after that, whatever else that you have time for, you can make time for it, right? This is the big lesson that I wanted to teach you today. Start to say no. Start to say no. So, Kirtana, you had a question a little bit earlier about if I'm chatting with my friends and I plan to chat for 15 minutes, but then it goes on to 1 hour, 2 hours, what should I do? Sometimes it's okay. Why not? Sometimes it's fine. But if you are going to use that 1 hour to work on some of your big goals, then at one point of time, you have to stop chatting and say, hey guys, listen, I need to get going, and then maybe we can do this again tomorrow, because you do have to start saying no. That's very, very important. Saksham, no, it doesn't work for a few days only. It works for your entire life. This is very important. Think about all the activities that you need to do. Put them in that urgent, important box that I just showed you, the 4 box. If you are able to put all the activities that you do in a month into those 4 boxes, what do you do with it? Everything that is in quadrant 4 or box number 4, neither important nor urgent, delete them. Say no to all of those things. Anything in box number 3, things that other people want, you are not interested in doing, but other people want you to do it, say no to those as well, or reschedule them. Anything which is in quadrant number 2, important things, but you've not put a timeline for it, put a deadline to it. Anything which is in quadrant number 1, urgent and important, make sure you get it done. That's the main thing. How to say no so that others don't feel bad about me? Well, this is a very important question, isn't it? Any suggestions from any of you? How to say no so that others don't feel bad? Because it is true, isn't it? When you say no to other people, they might feel bad. How do we do that? How do we do that? First off, I want to tell you that you can't help how others feel. If others have to feel bad, they have to feel bad. Well, you can't help that. But what is in your control is the way you say no. So one is, don't be rude. Don't say, hey, no, I can't do that. Don't use these hand gestures. Don't be rude. Say it in a polite way. Say it in the right way. The second thing is called the broken record technique. Broken record, those old gramophone records? Have you guys seen it in the movies? Those round gramophone records. And then sometimes the needle would get stuck. And the same record would keep playing, the same plays, na na na, na na na, na na na, it would keep playing, would drive you crazy, right? Broken record techniques means that you say the same thing over and over again. Say, dude, sorry, I can't come for basketball right now, I have to study. And they say, no, come on, yeah, guy, you ditch all the time, come on, you have to come. Really sorry, yeah, guys, I have to study for an hour now. If you guys can wait for an hour, then I can come and join you for basketball. They said, no, you come on, yeah, don't do this. Don't be like this. Come on. You say the same thing again. So repeat. Sorry, guys, like I'm saying, I really can't come down now. So keep on repeating till they get the message. And the third tip is give an alternative. I'll come 1 hour later. I'll come tomorrow. I'll do it some other time. Something like that. Give an alternative as well. It is something that is everybody struggle with. Even grown-ups struggle with saying no. But this is an essential skill. You have to say no to unimportant things in your life so you can say yes to the important things in your life. We only have 24 hours. If I say yes to a whole bunch of things and that's going to take me 4 hours, 5 hours, things that I don't want to do, well, then I have 4 or 5 hours less to do the things that I do want to do, okay? So always be careful what you're saying yes to. Whenever you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. This is very, very important, right? And yes, I can see from the messages that the message is going across to you. I'm really happy that you are learning so far. We've learned quite a lot of things already. We've talked about the value of time. We've talked about the fact that we can't manage time and that we can only manage our actions. And then the third thing, the big lesson that we learned was the time management grid, the difference between things which are urgent and important. And the fourth thing we've learned already, very important to start saying no so that we can say yes to other people and more important things, okay? So let me move on to the time management hacks that I wanted to show you. And this is where time boxing comes in, like Yash was saying. And the first time management a hack that I want to show you is called the tomato technique. Tomato technique, right? Have a look at this. Think about it. This is the tomato technique, yeah? And Vaibhav, yes, this is a 1 hour class. We just have about 16 minutes left of this 1 hour, and we're going to spend this next 16 minutes speaking about 2 easy time management productivity hacks, and also the thief of time and what you're going to do about the thief of time. I'm going to introduce you to my friend, the monkey, very, very soon. So stay tuned. My monkey friend is waiting right here, and he's really waiting to meet all of you. So here is my monkey. I hope you can see him. This is my friend. I don't know if he's visible yet. He's going to come up in a little while and meet you guys. So stay around, okay? All right then. Okay. Yes, this is Yash, the Pomodoro Technique. You're absolutely right. This is the Pomodoro Technique. And Yash, you seem to know quite a lot about time management already. That's wonderful. I'm glad to see that you're using all of those. Right. So the Pomodoro Technique or the Tomato Technique, Pomodoro is just Italian word for tomato, by the way, is a very simple technique. Most of us assume that if we work at a stretch, we work longer and longer. I'm going to spend 3 hours on this project. I'm going to spend 4 hours on this project. Then I'm going to get much more done. That's not true. You see, the human brain works in a peculiar way, and it can't concentrate for more than 20 to 25 minutes, okay? And this is very important for us to remember, that if we are going to be productive, if we're going to study hard, get our things done, we can only concentrate at a time for about 25 minutes max. And after that, we need a break. We just cannot concentrate more than 25 minutes at a time. That's what the human brain is. The biology is like that, right? So what do we do then? Well, make sure whenever you're doing some work, you only schedule work for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then you take a mini break. What does this mean? Let me give you an example. Let's say I have to work on a project which is going to take me a total of 1 hour. What I do is, rather than saying I'm going to work on this between 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, what I'm going to do is to say, okay, I'm going to work on this from 10 to 10:25. Then I get up, 2 minutes, I go out onto my balcony, I walk around a little bit, I get some fresh air, and I come back, and then again from about 10:30, I start working on this, and I work for about 20-25 minutes, and then again I take a 2-minute break, and maybe I get up, I go to the kitchen, I get a glass of water, I drink, and I just walk around the house for about a minute, come back, sit down, and then I take the last 20 minutes, and I finish my work. So rather than 10 to 11 o'clock scheduling my time, what I do is I'm going to say that, you know what, it's going to take me from 10 o'clock to 10 past 11, because it's going to take me that 10 extra minutes, because I will need that break. And this is how you schedule your work. Now, you cannot do this, obviously, for the schedules of other people. So if a teacher has scheduled a class, that's very different, because that's in her control. But this is for when you are by yourself and you need to do some work, some homework, some project work, painting, guitar, writing, anything that you're going to do, any work that you're doing on your own. Don't try to work at a stretch. Break it up. That's all the tomato technique or the Pomodoro technique says. Very, very simple technique. It just says don't work at a stretch. Every 20 to 25 minutes, take a 2-minute break and then come back and finish it. And once you've finished your work, maybe it takes 3 into 20 minutes or 4 into 20 minute slots. You finish your work, then you can take a long break and celebrate. And then you say, okay, my work is done. Longish break, maybe 10-15 minutes, and then only move on to the new task. I hope that was something that you understood. The tomato technique. Take a break every 20 to 25 minutes, but mini breaks, not major breaks, not TV watching breaks, just a 2-minute stretch break, just to give your brain a little bit of a gap. Okay? Let me know in the chat box if that was okay, if you understood that. All right? Very simple to understand. And very practical, very simple to do as well. And I promised you at the beginning of the class that I'm going to teach you things which are very, very simple and very, very practical. And I hope this is the tomato technique, the 20-25 minute rule, is something that you can absolutely apply. The second hack that I want to show you is called Eat Your Frog. Eat your frog. Oh my God, does that sound disgusting or what? And you're wondering, why is ma'am saying eat your frog? Oh my God. I am vegetarian, I don't want to eat a frog. Oh, I'm non-vegetarian, but I still don't want to eat a frog. Yes? You must be wondering that. Well, eating your frog doesn't literally mean that you take a frog and you eat it, but every day, we have something to do in our day which we don't want to do, right? All of us have something in our day which we don't like to do. It could be speaking to somebody that we don't like, attending a particular class, maybe, or doing a project in a subject that we don't like. Maybe I have singing classes, but I don't really like singing. There will always be something in your day which you don't want to do. Maybe cleaning your room. I don't want to clean my room. I hate cleaning my room. Making my timetable. Something that I really hate doing, right? And Yash and Saksham on the right track, but a little bit different. And it actually means the frog is the thing that I hate doing. That's the frog. So always take the most unpleasant thing, the thing that you absolutely hate doing, and do that first. That's what it means. Because if you don't do that first, what's going to happen is the frog will sit on your desk. Well, not really a frog, but what it means is that the frog sitting on your desk means that this unpleasant thing is going around in your head. I have to clean my room. I have to clean my room. Oh God, I have to clean my room. Oh, I hate cleaning my room. And it's going to keep on going in your head, and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger in your head till the point that you're like, oh, I can't do this. I just can't do this. Okay. And then you just stop doing it. So the frog is the most unexciting, the most uninspiring, the most horrible thing that you have to do in a day. Do that first is what the eat your frog technique says as well. So Pomodoro technique and eat your frog are two quick techniques that you can use to manage your time better. Yash was talking about time boxing. Well, that simply means some of us are perfectionists. We start doing something and then we keep on doing it. We lose track of time, and maybe we are making a painting or we are writing an essay, and we keep on refining, we keep spell checking, changing some words, doing something, and then suddenly we have a look at our watch and it's 3 hours have gone and we're just spending time on one essay. Time boxing is where you tell yourself, I'm going to spend 1 hour on this, and whatever stage it is after 1 hour, I'm going to just stop. That's what time boxing means. Or I'm going to spend 30 minutes on this. Wherever I've reached after 30 minutes, I'm going to stop right there and move on to something else. And this is good for people like me, who is also a perfectionist, because what happens is I tend to just, if I'm preparing for a class, I will just keep on putting in pictures. I'll try to do something to make it better and even better and even better. And I'll just get lost in it and I'll just lose track of time, right? And all my other work will not get done. So I did time boxing this morning, believe you or me or not, because I had a lot of work to get through. So I put 15-minute, 30-minute slots like that, and I made sure I stopped when the time was up. So that is what time boxing means. Yash, I hope this is what you were talking about as well. The 80-20 rule is also another good rule. And the 80-20 rule means that 20% of our activities give us 80% of our value. So if you have a to-do list that you made, figure out what are those, out of 10 things, what are those 2 things that you really need to get done that will make you feel happy and satisfied for the rest of the day. Focus on those 2 things out of 10, which is 20% things, which gives you 80% value, 80% satisfaction. I'm going to talk about the 80-20 rule more in one of the other life skills classes as well. So I won't say any more about this just now, but come back for all the classes and you will get to see the 80-20 rule in action as well. But yes, I hope you understood that quick explanation, right? So moving on to the last bit of this session, we just have little less than 10 minutes to go. Good time to talk about the thief of time. And the thief of time is when we make all these plans. We learn whatever ma'am has taught, we apply whatever ma'am has taught us. We do the time management grade, we do all kinds of things. And then we make the to-do lists, we do the prioritization, but finally, my work doesn't get done. Why does that happen? Well, that happens because there is a thief of time called procrastination. That's a very big word. Procrastination. And procrastination simply means that we keep not doing something. We keep thinking about something but not doing it. I have to do the biology project. Okay, I will start in half an hour. And then you think, I have to do the biology project. Okay, I will start in 1 hour. Okay, now it's 7 o'clock. I'm going to just finish this episode and then I will start at 7:45, right? And then we say, okay, I'm going to 7:45. Let me go for a run, and I'll come back after my run, and then I will do this. And then I say, okay, I come back from my run. I'm going to have dinner now. And then it goes on, and you say, oh, I'm too sleepy now. I'll do it tomorrow. Procrastinating. You're just not doing it. And a procrastinator's brain is different from a normal person's brain, right? And do any of you procrastinate, by the way? Let me ask you, do you tend to put off things? Do you tend to put off things? You have to do something, you say, I'll do it later, and then you never get it done. Does anybody do it? And yes, Aksham, smartphones are a great tool to enable procrastination, isn't it? By the way, I do a lot of procrastination myself on things that I don't like doing. So I'm definitely guilty of it, but I do try to not do it as much. So I'm trying to improve, but I am definitely a procrastinator. Yes, Saksham says yes. Saksham, thank you for being honest. What about the others? Are you guys procrastinators? Do you put off things sometimes? And if yes, then this is going to make a lot of sense to you, because a procrastinator's brain is not like a normal person's brain, you see. A normal person's brain has a rational decision maker. And a rational decision maker is somebody who says, okay, I have to get all of these things done. These are super important for me. I have to work on this project. I have to do this. I have to do that. All of these kind of things. And so I should get done. But the procrastinator's brain has somebody different in it. And that's, my friend, the monkey. And I hope you can all see the monkey, my friend. He's been waiting to meet you. And this monkey is called the instant gratification monkey. Big words there. It just means that the monkey says, hey, you know what? I know you have to work on your biology project, but let's just check Insta and see in my last post how many likes I got, right? And we start taking our phone and we start looking at Insta, and then the monkey, this instant gratification monkey, says, we looked at Insta, but we didn't really look at all the other apps. Okay, let me just see who else is doing what on Insta. What did my friend post? How many likes did she get? And you know you have to work on your biology project, but your monkey is telling you it's more fun to do something else. So the monkey is one which likes doing all the fun things and doesn't really get you to do all the important things that you need to do. And this is the thief of time. My monkey is the thief of time. Doesn't let you do things, but tells you, let's go and enjoy ourselves a little bit. Let's go gossip. Let's do WhatsApp. Let's do some game. Let's play the video game over and over again. The monkey stops us from doing the things we are supposed to do. And the monkey is what causes all the procrastination, right? So this is what you do. Kirtana says, I do it as well. Also, yeah, I'm also a procrastinator. Everybody is a procrastinator, by the way. It's not just one or two people, all of us. And if you are a procrastinator, don't feel guilty about it. That's not going to help. Just think about the time why you procrastinate. And if you start thinking about why I procrastinate, you will probably realize that you procrastinate on things which are not very pleasant for you. Or you procrastinate on things which don't have a deadline, right? So if the biology project, there's 5 days to do, you will keep procrastinating because there's 5 days left, dude. I can do it later, right? Till the time there's only 2 hours left. And then, your brain starts going, there's only 2 hours left. I need to finish this. Oh my God, I have to work on this. And then you go into crisis mode and you start working on it. But what happens when you start working on crisis mode, where, it's just 2 hours left for the project, your last minute you're doing, it's called the last minute firefighting thing. The quality of the work that you do is not great. So be very, very careful. Be aware that you have a monkey, the monkey which is always going to ask you to do all the fun things and stop you from doing all the important things. And that's the big thief of life, of time. And when you become too much of a procrastinator, you don't do anything. So you feel guilty. When you feel guilty, you start to doubt yourself. And you feel helpless, and then you don't do anything again. So it's a vicious cycle. It just goes round and round. And you feel like you are not in control of your life. So if you want to be in control of your life, if you want to be in control of your time, if you want to be in control of your goals, then this is the logo. This is the symbol for you right there up on your screen. Very, very familiar logo. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. Tell me in the chat box, what does this signify? What does this logo stand for? And that's going to be the motto that I want to leave you with and that I want to end my session with. Let me have a look at the chat box in the meantime while you're looking at the logo and writing down what is the motto of time management. that I want to leave you with. And we've got question of Yash, habit of waking up late and how to wake up early. And Saksham says, read 5 a.m. Club. It's a lovely book. You must read it. And Yash, I have a specific session on how to build good habits. And I'm going to teach you a specific technique there. Please check in on the Unacademy Creative Corner dashboard. Have a look at the schedule. Find out the session for habits. And all of you who are interested in building good habits, breaking bad habits, come back for that session. And that's where I'm going to tell you exactly how to create good habits. Nike shoes, yes. But what does the logo stand for? Just do it. That's right. You got it absolutely right, Yash. And everybody else. Just do it. This is what I want to leave you with. Do not procrastinate on all the important things. Remember, we've learned quite a few things today. And we've differentiated between the unimportant things in our life and the important things in our life. The urgent things and the non-urgent things. Remember always, put the big rocks or the important things first. Get them done. Don't procrastinate on this. And say no to all the distractions and all the unimportant things. And in order to do that, use methods like time boxing, use methods like the tomato technique, the time management grid that I showed you, eating your frog. All of these things will help you to achieve what you want to do and be the best that you can. Thank you so much. If there are any more questions, please let me know in the chat box. Otherwise, we are at the end of our time. And I will see you tomorrow for another life skills, which is on the top tips for public speaking. That's tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll see you then. But in the meantime, I'm right here. I'll wait for a little bit of time. If there are any more questions, please ask me in the chat box. Kirtana, I hope some of your questions got answered as well. Keep them coming. I'm on the Unacademy app. If you need to message me with anything, please do so. Thank you so much, Saksham. I love hearing these comments. You're filled with energy at the end of this session because of all your interaction. I'm filled with energy as well. I'm not feeling tired at all. So I'm looking forward to seeing you and some other learners tomorrow and for the other classes in the life skills. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye. Here's where we end the session. Bye. Take care of yourself.